Welcome to Three Blind Mike's podcast. Follow their journey as John J. the Real Hot Rod, Cletrodamus, and Portis the Assassin deliver the bottom line on the greatest pop culture entertainment debates of then and now. The Three Blind Mikes won't know the topic until the show begins, which surely will lead to an unscripted and uncensored good time. Now, let's go in blind on the road to nowhere. All right, folks, welcome back to another Three Blind Mikes podcast. I am your host, John J., the Real Hot Rod, and with me today is my two co-hosts, my two brother-in-laws, Cletrodamus.
Yes.
How you doing, brother?
Good, brother. How you doing? Great to hear. It's been forever. It feels like it's been, almost 45 minutes since our last podcast.
Yeah. And my second co-host, my second brother-in-law, is Portis the Assassin. The Assassin, what is going up in your world?
I'm great. I think the Evan Williams is starting to creep in for you, though.
Oh, dude, the Evan Williams has been creeping ever so long.
How about, brother, are you now swimming in the Evan Williams? That's the question. Are you swimming in a pool of Evan Williams?
Evan Williams is my middle name.
Williams, the deranged cousin of Jack Daniels.
All right, hey, really quickly, not to interrupt, guys. Note to our viewers: parental guidance. Do not try this at home, folks. We are trained professionals.
Trained professionals is absolutely the opposite.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
Drunken fool might be the better.
Yeah. The proper Merriam-Webster's definition, without question.
All right, today's episode is really, really special. Now, as we have said before, is we don't know what the topic of the show's going to be until the show starts. Now, usually we would go to the randomizer.com and allow that to dictate what our show is going to be about. But today, folks, I am actually outside of my home in front of a nice fire with one of my daughters and my son. Now, folks, today we are going to have my daughter, who is codenamed Cece, tell us what the topic of the show is going to be. Now, folks, I don't know what the topic's going to be. My brother-in-laws don't know what the topic's going to be. So, Cece, say hello to the folks.
Hey.
Yeah, she's a little bit tipsy from the wine, but that's okay. We all drink in this.
Jeez, all right. What kind of wine? A little red, little white?
I had a vodka cranberries.
Oh, we went right to...
Oh, boy. Batten down the hatch.
Oh, boy, HCC. Watch out, everyone. Holy cow.
Okay, so I was thinking about the topic of the impact that entertainment has, and going back to your own childhood and the things that you grew up with and the things that now you consider nostalgia. So this can be arranged from sports, shows, music, like things that you grew up with and how that impacted your life and you consider now nostalgia.
Okay.
I love it. Thoughtful, fascinating topic, Agent CC.
Yeah, that's a very long and broad topic. Let's get it to you, Cletrodamus.
Well, I tell you what. Just kick it off at the top of Agent CC's question there. I think entertainment. Pop culture. We don't really realize it. Family and friends, but it impacts so many parts of our lives. What we're interested in, what our hobbies are. So much of our personality, we don't really realize comes from the entertainment that we love. Think about the catchphrases we use in our daily lexicon. Think about the expressions we use. Things like that. And pop culture really is encompassing, I think, of so much of the American experience and nostalgia. Great point by Agent Cece bringing up the nostalgia factor of entertainment, because when I go back to those wonderful memories of childhood, I think about, seeing Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark for the first time, or Back to the Future in a movie theater,
Amen.
and just the magic I felt, being transformed into these cool, exciting worlds with these wonderful characters. Something that we can share now with friends and family today. And
Whoa. Portis, can you hear me?
Yeah, we've already had our first technical difficulty.
That's okay. Let me re-invite.
Did he get booted?
He got booted. That's okay. Let me
He was kind of rambling on a little bit there. Anyway, I mean,
Yeah, that's what
how
happens
many
when
times do
you're
you
on.
have to hear the same point over and over and over? We got it.
So, since Cletrodamus got kicked for having no point whatsoever.
Yeah, keep beating that horse dead. The horse died 10 miles back, man.
Yeah, Portis, what do you think?
Well, I'm gonna take this position of it. Um, my generation, which is the '70s, '80s generation, is the greatest generation of all time.
Amen.
And the reason it is because these kids today, they don't know how good they got it, or at least maybe not good. Good is the wrong word. Maybe they don't know how bad they've got it. Um, I mean, we used to. I mean, the immediacy of entertainment has really ruined um, entertainment. It really has. I mean, the fact that you can um, the fact that you can find a song, and that in one aspect it's great because you can find this song that you really like and you can play it. But when we were kids, man, albums would be released on Tuesdays, man.
yep, mm-hmm.
You would seek out that day to get that album.
Circle it on the calendar.
They would be. I remember our mother, who is not hip by any means. I remember her driving in a pouring rain to go pick up Bon Jovi's "Slippery When Wet," and there was
Oh,
a line around the store. Like that doesn't happen anymore.
Nope.
Like people have an immediacy for entertainment now that it just in one aspect it's good. Like I just bought a movie today and watched it. It was if you care to know, it is the what was it? Oh, the Spider-Verse movie with Miles Morales.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I've got a 6-year-old who runs. He's a terrorist, so he runs the household, and they say never negotiate with terrorists, right? I
Right. Right.
You have
I
no option.
negotiate with him every day. Okay, yeah. Do you want it in HD? Um, and so yeah, I watched that. But I mean, so that's good. You can get like something that you want to watch at a moment's notice, but at the same time, I think it just completely robs the art form. It just like strips it of some of its essence.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely, Portis. And yeah, go ahead, Jay.
yeah, no, that's a really good point. Now, from my perspective, and for the folks out there and everything that don't really know my age, I am the oldest one in the group. So me growing up, in the '70s, from video games, movies, um, TV, music, you had to either wait for the next episode of that
Mm-hmm.
TV show to watch, the next week, or you had to wait for that new CD to drop, or album to actually physically go to the store and buy, or to back in the day, when a new video game was released where you bought it on a cartridge, whether that is the Atari, then down the road, the Nintendo, and so on. And nowadays, everything is so digital, it's like instant access. You don't even have to leave your room or your home to get it. I'm a big video gamer, and I download all my video games digital. I don't have to go to the store or anything like that. But what I miss most about is going to the store and buying that next album, buying that next
Yeah.
movie, going to Blockbuster and
Mhm.
renting that Blockbuster movie that came out in theaters months ago. The video games, going to GameStop at the midnight release, buying that next installment of Call of Duty. Now you don't even have to leave your home. You can
Yeah.
just
Digitally download it. Yeah.
it's digitally downloaded, and
Can I question though while you're on this topic?
yeah.
When you're digitally downloading these video games, do you have to take the video game and go so you can clean out all the debris?
The cobwebs.
You
Yeah.
don't even have to do that. And you know what? I am so glad you just said that, because when we would go to GameStop and buy the next video game, but it was used because we didn't want to pay the full price. We take it home, and we would basically blow on the and blow inside the disk drive of the PS4 or whatever and everything. That is that's nostalgic right there.
Mhm.
I'm so glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, and like you both talked about, the way we consume entertainment today is so different than when we were growing up. Today, it's instantaneously delivered. But back in the day, kids today don't understand what reruns were, or waiting an entire summer to find out what happens on the cliffhanger of your favorite show. I mean, you waited week to week. Now kids are trained now. When a new show drops, you just digest the latest season of Cobra Kai in one weekend, like you, Jay, and your son did last weekend. I mean, it's
Oh,
just
absolutely.
kids today don't like what you're talking about, that anticipation, the wait, you were rewarded for the wait. Kids today, it's just boom, here it is. And next thing you know, you knock it out and you go on to your next thing.
You know,
Well, I will say this though about video games. The video games are so much better in some.
yes.
I mean the. I mean, there's literally the video game and movies has really almost kind of like become almost seamless transitions into one another, because they are putting effort into the character development, into the stories, the plot. They have script writers writing these stories. um I would
Right.
say the worst part is I used to love John Madden football. I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
don't play I don't play it anymore, and I'll tell you why. I used to insert myself as a player. That would be me, and of course I would just make myself 99. I would just all my abilities would be like 100. You couldn't be 100, so you just 99. Accuracy 99, power 99, speed 99. And some little nerd got it in his little he got a little bee in his bonnet, and he decided, you know what, we should have them actually earn these credentials, like these, like
Right.
speed. We should have them do that. And when they did that, I got out of it. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't want to have to work for 99. I just want 99 bucks. Yeah,
Absolutely. You want that
I,
instantaneously.
I will take 99. I'll take speed 99. I'll take accuracy 99. I don't want to have to work for it. Get out of here.
No, no, absolutely. And speaking of that, of the video game industry, the Elvin Williams has just kicked in, by the way. Um,
Just
you,
kicking.
yeah, it been kicked in. Um, how the video games is that they have micro transitioned everything in video games, where when a new Call of Duty comes out, when a new Fortnite season comes out, or when a new season comes out of any type of video game, they suck you in to buy additional content in order to get better, or make you think you can get better in order to get into the competitive world, and it's a $1 billion business. Um,
Well, it's actually it's available at universities. I mean, you can compete on
oh,
I don't know if it's I think it's like Division 3 or division, but you can actually get like scholarships to play video games at the collegiate level, which is
Yeah.
mind blowing. I remember your mother like, you can't make a career out of this. And you're like, yeah, I can. I can compete at these tournaments, and some of these guys are making millions and millions of dollars.
I know. Yeah, it's become a $1 billion industry, Portis, and it's remarkable. Like you said, there are these video game screenwriters are being paid. They're being paid exactly what the screenwriters of major motion picture blockbusters are, because these games have become such a phenomenon worldwide. And it's crazy. I mean, I can only imagine, Jay, what the latest the latest edition of Call of Duty. I mean, what the screenwriters are getting for that, because like Porter said, this video game world has become these franchises more in depth. The storytelling, the graphics, the experience, the interactive experience is becoming more cutting edge with every new line that's coming out.
I will say this about video games, just to kind of double back. Um, the wrestling video games that we grew up as with kids they were horrible. I don't know if they've gotten any better, but they were really bad. I mean, in like the 80s and 90s. I mean, you could only do one move. It was the suplex. And that somehow figure out how to cover.
Just every single wrestler, just because every wrestler will look like every single other wrestler on the game, Portis. I mean, were they that bad? I mean, just because they looked like they were graphics out of 1600 Hollywood movie making class, were
I
they
mean,
that bad?
but it was really bad when you were trying to whip your opponent into the ropes and you would go into the ropes. Like, and you would both fall down. You'd have to get up and you'd be like, how do I wait? Is it A and C that I cover him? And then eventually you try to cover them, and then it would that slow ref would be
Doing the Danny Davis 2 count.
oh my god.
The Danny
So,
Davis.
I don't know if they've gotten better, but hopefully I assume they have gotten better, but they were
no,
all in our generation.
actually, um, we've been playing the WWE games 2K for a couple years, and now it has gotten so sophisticated that in order to whip your opponent into the ropes, you have to hit 10 different buttons in order to do it, and it's so frustrating because I'm a type of person is I just want to hit one or two buttons and play the game.
Yeah.
When I when I'm forced to hit 30 different buttons in order to do one move, then you know what? I don't want to play I'm sorry, your darn game anymore.
No, I think that did warrant a damn, actually.
Yeah, damn. You know what? I'm saying damn it.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
I,
it's the Evan Williams
but I
talking, so you're off the hook.
but
Hot rod. Don't worry about
if
it.
I would take the out of the game and I would destroy it. I would either break it with a hammer. Um, I would shame on our balcony outside. On our side, you would drive by our house and
Oh my gosh.
you're like, what is that hanging from the balcony? It's a control. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's gonna
and
take the price.
Oh,
and and you actually paid money for this experience.
oh my goodness.
And that's a good point too, though. Too, I mean, because we're all, and we could go. This could be a whole series of show too. But those entertainment misfires, when you invest money in an entertainment product that doesn't live up to the hype, whether it be that great movie sequel that turns out to be nothing but a dud. I'm looking at you, Speed, too, or that that video game that's just basically the same version you bought 2 years ago, the same storyline, but except you bought the new one for another $200 more. We've entertainment, and that's I think that's part of the risk reward of it too, because especially when we're going into things blind. If you're going into things, it's so much, expectations. But when you're invested in your entertainment, like Portis is talking about, when you're invested in a wrestling video game, that you want to have more than one or two moves, or you want to have, wrestlers who don't all look like Hulk Hogan. And when you get let down on that, it lets you down two ways. Number one, it lets you down. You're like, oh man, this just stinks. Number two, you blew money on it, So you not only are you putting skin in the game, you're putting your heart and your soul into it, and you're putting money into it as well. And I mean, how many, everyone in America can relate to entertainment that lets them down. But that's, that's part of the gamble that you take.
Yeah, I would say that, see, now I'm having an Evan Williams moment because I cannot, what am I about to say? Okay, you guys talk, and I'm going to try and remember. I literally know.
But yeah, so let's kind of talk about that too. What, if anything, what is the greatest entertainment disappointment, Hot Rod, whether it be video games across the board, that you can remember, where something your anticipation from your youth, when you were a kid, your anticipation was so high, you were counting down the days till this came out, or you could go see this movie or pick up this album. What let you down more than anything else, would you say, in your lifetime of consuming entertainment?
Hey, Damas, can I get? I remembered what I was going to say.
All right, hit us up, Portis. What you got?
Let me get my little, and then you can talk to. Yeah. My thing is, the one thing that they haven't been able to really, I guess, is the live performance. They have, so that is why all of these artists today, Rolling Stones, they're 85 years old. They're going out with a walker and a cane and all that.
Charging $2,000.
Right? Yeah, because they can't. That's something that they can't reproduce. You have to. That's a live event.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely, Portis. Yeah, and it goes back to what Cece was talking about. That transports you instantaneously, that nostalgia back to your youth,
and
no matter how bad the product is. Yeah,
all of our heroes on this they're dying. They're going away. Yeah. So this might be the last time you get to see, Paul McCartney and his band, or you get to
exactly. Amen.
And all three of those guys playing, or how many are together?
Absolutely. That's why you see Bruce Springsteen charging $6,000 for pit tickets for his latest tour, because every fan is exactly like what we're thinking, exactly like saying, this might be my last time to see Bruce. And Bruce has them over a barrel. He can charge whatever they want. All right, yeah, your biggest entertainment letdown of all time.
Oh, me?
Yeah, Jay, hit us up.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, are you paying attention to the show? I mean, that's one of the really important.
Or is Evan Williams taking you to another place?
You know what?
Important byproducts of this is that you participate.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm back. I'm back with the show. Okay, so I have two subjects. One is WWF/WWE. Okay, with the WW, the wrestling, or the world wrestling, whatever you want to call it today, is that it always seems to be that the WWF has always kind of let the fans down in storylines through the years. But as a consumer of the product, is that I have always stayed with the WWF/WWE through the years because
of your loyalty.
They do, right. There's a loyalty there, but there's always a factor that they know how to get you back into the storylines of the WWF, whatever's going on at the time.
Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Oh no, absolutely, and that's a great analogy that you just came up with The Godfather Part 3. Like,
was a letdown, if we can get into that, but that's one of that's one of the most critically acclaimed franchise that just has one of the worst, I guess, conclusions to it.
Yeah, and you know
Yes.
what? Yeah, it is. It is a letdown. And really quickly to back up your point, Portis, at the time it was revered. I mean, it was nominated for, I believe, 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. But as time has gone on, people, retrospectively looking at this was not the way you wanted, the Corleone story to end.
Right.
Yeah. I cut you off there, John.
No,
I
no,
don't
we are on the
know.
road nowhere, and that's just what we are good at. But my point is that um, I've been a WWF slash WWE fan since I was little, and I have been so frustrated over the years. And it's like a roller coaster because of the storyline, how they do with their wrestlers, how they do good, how they do bad, or whatever. But the one thing that keeps me drawn in is that there's that one moment in history that they make up for all the crazy storylines that they do, like if somebody turned heel or somebody turned face or somebody came back from another company. They always keep that intrigue um, of the WWE. Now, going to another topic is Call of Duty, which is, I've been playing Call of Duty for 20 years. And my biggest letdown is it's the same repackaged game coming out every,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the same situation as the WWE is that they keep you hooked because every year they come up with a little piece of something that might be a little bit different to keep you hooked and entertained to keep playing the game over and over and over. And I'm the victim of 20 years of it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that brings us to another topic too, Hot Rod, how entertainment can become an addiction, whether it's good or bad. You grow such a loyalty and fondness that you're willing to forgive them for anything. You're willing to forgive Call of Duty for
Yeah,
repackaging the same game 7, 8 editions. Portis, you're willing to forgive Godfather 3 for being so terribly bad. You'll still watch the first two, 200 times because it's such great entertainment. So that's the hold that entertainment has over us is fascinating. When you look at it from I guess a psychological perspective, because I'm the same way too. I mean, I've been addicted to WWE since Clay and I first discovered it, or
oh,
when Portis and I were first discovered it when we were like 7 and 6 growing up. So that's the magic and the danger of entertainment. When you become, or like that favorite band that hasn't put out a good album since what in forever. Looking at you, Guns N' Roses. So yeah, it's fascinating how entertainment can get such a complete grip on us, on a psychological level.
All right, so let's hear it, Damas. What's one of your
My
let?
biggest entertainment letdowns of all time, boy. For me, and this was a long time coming. As you both know, I'm an X File. I'm an X Files geek, and when X Files, I Want to Believe, which was a sequel 10 years in the making,
yeah,
came out in 2008. I had watched the trailer, guys. No, 300, 400 times after work, just because my anticipation was so great on it. I read every article, every review before I saw it, warning me that it was terrible. But I invested so much of my life over the last year waiting for this film. It'd been 10 years in the making, and you go into this film, and it's just it's a script that a 6-year-old would write because it was that bad. And I just remember, like, I just felt betrayed. It made no sense, on a logical perspective, but just for the emotional investment and the weight that I had put in for this film, I just felt so betrayed. But even that being said, when when that terrible movie, and I believe I was one of 4 people in the country that saw it. When that movie came out on DVD, I bought it day one. But that is the power it has over me.
I guess for I probably I have a hard time with these. I would say for me the biggest disappointment for me, and I don't think it when you say biggest, it's whatever's like going on for me right now. I would say the DC franchise has really been
Yeah.
underwhelming, and
Hmm.
I'm a Batman fan. Like I love Batman. Batman's the OG. He's the Don Corleone. He's the top dog. And
Yeah, and there's a reason why we've never seen you and Bruce Wayne in the same place at the same time. You're that much Batman.
yeah, and I just I love the Justice League. I've always loved the Justice League more than the Avengers. In fact, I didn't even know there was a group called the Avengers because I didn't even care about them that much.
Right.
And I was all about Superman, Batman, put some Wonder Woman in there, yeah, Green Lantern, and they have just not delivered. Their movies don't even compare to the Marvel franchise. I would say, if anything, the only thing they have going for them right now is Marvel is oversaturating their
Yeah.
franchise. Like you're like, oh, She-Hulk is a lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah, I'd love for her to represent me. I mean, it's like
Poor but it's entertaining.
Hawkeye has a little. It's too much. So
Yeah.
if he's right, is they're not giving us anything because
Well, yeah, and you're right.
it's
In there's such creative disarray. I mean, this is that just spent $90 million, $90 filming and producing this Batgirl spinoff movie that they were hoping to launch their own franchise, but because they want to cut costs, because they don't want to invest in actually marketing this film, they're going to eat it. They're going to eat $90 million and never let this movie see the light of day, just
that.
because they don't have the vision. Yeah, they don't have the vision for it, and also because this company, Time Warner Discovery, just lost about $3 billion last quarter. So they're bleeding revenue, and they want to cut it. I mean, so they're bleeding money, and they want to cut spending wherever they can.
I would say that the next one for me, I was a huge Unsolved Mysteries fan. Growing up,
Yes.
80s, 85, 90s, Robert Stack with the trench coat. And the new one that they've launched on Netflix, I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to the
Well, yeah,
old.
I'm right there with you. I checked it
It's
out too,
good.
Portis.
It has some merit, but if you're trying to they relaunched the franchise
With no narrator.
with no host. It needs a host. You got to get somebody.
Because
Yeah,
and my biggest thing is I can see this every Friday night, either on Dateline or 2020.
and there was something about they would do like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
They would be about 15 minutes long. No idea how long the episode was. It was
Yeah.
That's how good it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That little segment, you had no idea. You'd look at the clock and be like, "Wow, that was 15 minutes."
Yeah, because you were time stopped because you were so
good.
emotionally invested in it. Yeah.
Now it's an hour long. It's one story. Sometimes they're very complex. There's a lot of different things. They've got the music right. The music was always fantastic.
Oh, the music was sold
But
the show.
I remember watching that as a kid, and literally you'd hear the front door close and go, "Ah! Ah!" I mean, that's how much they sucked you in, like tractor beam, like, and you'd hear like a leaf, something out. You'd hear noises in the background. Hair on your neck would stand up. That the new one doesn't do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that kind of quality about it. I mean, I know there's probably a million more than that, but those are the two that come to mind. The DC franchise just laying an egg, and Unsolved Mysteries. Those are two that come to my mind right now.
Yeah. And go ahead, Jay. Yeah, that's the power entertainment has over us.
Yeah. Here's the thing: is let's get back to DC and Batman. Now, I am a very big Marvel person because Marvel has saturated the market with so many characters, so many movies, so many.
Right, and also your children grew up with Marvel.
Exactly. But here's the thing: what people don't realize, and this is just my opinion, and I live and die by this. Um, when I was growing up, there was Batman, there was Superman, there was this. I didn't know the difference between Marvel and DC until I got into my 20s. and I started got educated about who was on DC and who was on, Marvel. But here's the thing, and I don't know why DC doesn't capitalize on this. Okay, I'm going to testify. Batman, out of every superhero between Marvel and DC, Batman is the most realistic superhero that you can come close to. Because when I say realistic, Batman, he doesn't fly, he doesn't have all these superpowers.
He bleeds.
He his suit, what he does is more realistic that you can fabricate than any other human being on Earth. I'm sorry. Um, Batman is like the OG of superheroes because he's more realistic than anything else. I
Yeah.
believe technology out there that can emulate what Batman can do, and I don't know why DC doesn't capitalize on the realism of that. If they did, I think they would be more competition with Marvel.
Yeah, and Portis, like how I was talking about. Do you see that too? That we relate to Batman more than any other superhero because he's a regular guy who's a genius, but he has so many basic human traits. You know, he's haunted by past loss. He can be hurt. He's not superhuman. He's got to use his superpower really is his brain. Does that make him more relatable for you specifically?
Um, well, I mean, there is something about a guy who lives in a mansion who has an English butler, who somehow English, but he's got an English accent. But why? You're American. But
He had to go.
no, I would just say uh, the greatest thing about Batman is that you didn't have to kill him. With Superman, you had to kill him to make him interesting.
Yeah.
Um, there's something about Superman. Um, and while we're on the topic, Iron Man is Batman.
Yeah, exactly. He is Marvel's version of
Oh,
Batman without
And he
question.
was also ran. I loved it when Iron Man came out, and it was such a great film. That was what the can
Yeah,
is that it can take somebody like an Iron Man, who was an also ran. Like,
yeah,
oh yeah,
you're right. Yeah, he wasn't even a B plus player. He was
he
like on the C
was like
league
he
of
was on
Mar. Yeah,
he was on the like D squad. Like you wouldn't even have
yeah,
invited him to the fight.
yeah. He was like the backup to the
He
JV.
was
I
the
mean, he was like the
fourth
water
string
boy
quarterback. He was the fourth string. Like, hey, should we sign this guy to the? You know what? He's got
to the
kids.
practice squad. Yeah,
Get him on.
exactly. But
Yeah, he's got some kids. They could use the insurance. That is what it was. But the film was so good that it made him the greatest superhero ever.
without question, not only
Like,
that, Portis, it launched
but
the entire
Batman was
Marvel
first.
Cinematic Universe. Yeah.
Batman was first. And he
Mm.
doesn't have
yeah.
to die. I mean, I remember one of the greatest things about Superman was that they had to kill him to make him really, really interesting. And Batman, you don't have to kill him. Another thing is that I can't think of my next point. He had a great soundtrack for that first movie, Bat Dance.
Oh yeah, Prince. Yeah,
Prince,
absolutely. One of the all time great soundtracks.
a good one.
Um,
And yeah, he's more relatable. You can relate to him, even though he is rich.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about, this goes back to the point we're making about the loyalty, the brand loyalty we have to Batman, because you've sat through the thing with the Batman films from the cinematic standpoint is you've had some of the greatest films of all time, The Dark Knight, the original Batman with Michael Keaton and the steam ceiling Jack Nicholson. But then this franchise has also produced some of the worst sequels in the history of entertainment. Batman and
Doc,
Robin,
Doc,
Batman, yeah, without
Doc,
question.
I sat through bat nipples. Okay, I didn't know the bat suit had nipples.
Yeah.
But you were willing to do it because of your
I don't,
love and devotion
Joel
of the Cape Crusader.
I think that's Joel Schumacher's influence, like bringing about bat nipples, and I didn't know that the bat suit had to have nipples in it
Well, not
until
only that, you paid money. You paid about $10 to go see the Bat Nipples.
with nipples.
Yeah.
with nipples. Yeah,
Yeah. And you know what? to close this out and everything is, in our previous episode, we mentioned, word judgmental free is, it doesn't matter if you're a Marvel fan, it doesn't matter if you're a DC fan. If you are a true fan of superhero movies or entertainment, you are willing to basically watch Marvel movies. You're willing to watch DC movies and just let yourself be entertained by.
Mm,
And that doesn't say that, sure, you can be a favorite Marvel person or a favorite DC person, but I can't stand when a lot of people say that, oh, I'm just a Marvel person, I only watch Marvel movies and everything. Well, you're not to me, and this is my opinion, you're not a true fan of entertainment. I think entertainment, you should be willing and to be entertained by any forms of entertainment. For an example, music. When somebody says they are a music lover, they are willing to listen to any type of music, whether it's classical, country, rap, whatever. You get these individuals to say, "Oh, I'm just a country music or whatever." That you're not, and this is just my opinion. You're not a true music lover.
preach, hot rod, preach.
Your thoughts closing.
Well, this has been a great. I'm really fascinated because I just think that we've really kind of through our personal journeys, our entertainment loves, we've shown people the hook that entertainment's had on the three of us, but also how is universal. That the power entertainment has over us. For our moods, for the things we love, for the catchphrases we use. So much about it is dictated through our love of entertainment. And to see, it's kind of cool to see, my daughter, now, start to find like her favorite, she's coming, pop culture's becoming part of her, and she's using those catchphrases she hears on Disney Junior, and she's developing her own love. And I just love to see that, the positive side of entertainment, how it can be such an entertainment vessel for all of us, and just something that enhances, this great dream we're all living called life.
Portis.
Well, I'm gonna keep it brief because I have to pee so bad. Like,
I got
I I don't know about you, but I mean I'm pinching right now. So
We promise you he'd
um
be unfiltered, folks.
them.
yes, I'm gonna keep it brief, but I think our generation, my generation, the 70s, 80s generation is so great with entertainment because we reached to we reached backwards. We went back to the
Yeah.
original, the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. This generation that's out right now, they don't do that. I'll put my hand on the Bible and
Amen.
testify to it because they don't really know 5 minutes ago. They don't know, like they really have to. They have every mean. That's how pathetic they are. Sorry, CC, I'm talking to you.
Yep.
That's how pathetic they are. They have every means to seek out the thing that they're referencing, but they don't do it. Like the little backstory. Let me go. They have every. They could go on the computer and. Oh, that's what he meant. Oh, geez, look at that. They don't do it. Oh,
And that's
that
the
little,
bottom line,
yeah,
because Portis the
that
Assassin
little
said
hook in
so.
the song. It's what I could look that up, but I'm not going to because I.
Well, let me just close by saying this is let me go back to um, my daughter's wedding and reception, and there was a bunch of music played from back in my day, Bon Jovi, rap, this, that, back, the late '70s, early '80s, early '90s. Okay, and my nieces and my nephews of my two brother-in-laws who are
Mm.
of this show. They were out there jamming to my generation of music. And when you see that, that's special.
Yeah.
That is really, really special because today's music is a little bit more challenging to get entertained by. Um, because there's a lot of explicit, uh, speech, uh, references to nudity and sex and stuff like that. But growing up back in my day, when I see my nieces and my nephews jamming to my old time music,
It's
that's
a beautiful thing.
eyes. So, brothers, this was been a great second episode. I look forward to the next episode, and let's close this out.
You gonna wait? A hot rod? You gonna call it a night? Because I really don't want to see you driving home.
No, no, no. All I do is because I'm looking at my fire pit right now. Because
Oh,
like I don't even know if I'm going to put this fire out. Let the whole.
man, the whole neighborhood go up in flames. My,
just,
You know what?
just, just sit out there, just making it all night. Enjoy the experience. Let it ride.
yeah, let's start anew. Destroy, and rebuild.
My daughter and one of my sons out here with me, and my wife was supposed to come out, but I think she's sleeping. Um, they both left. I'm out here by myself, and
Oh,
I got
that's
30 feet to get into the door. Hopefully, I get in there.
Will he make it, folks? We'll find out next time on the latest thrilling, exciting episode of Three Blind Mics in the Road to Nowhere. We'll see you next time, folks.
Yep.
The Three Blind Mics is sponsored by the Family Proud, Family Strong Network via YouTube and powered by the Digital Media Productions.